Welcome to DeFi Crypto Today. Our topic today is Olympus Pro. I made a video about OlympusDAO recently. Very popular, by the way. Lots of likes. Thank you. Just right after I did the video, OlympusDAO opened a new service called Olympus Pro, which allows other DeFi protocols to bond their tokens, okay, and to sell their tokens, to mint tokens by issuing bonds, okay. So we're going to look at a little bit at this and why it's important and why I think this is the next step in DeFi. It's like DeFi 2.0 or 3.0. I wonder which version we're at right now, but probably 2.0 minimum. It's really pushing DeFi to the next level, and it's fixing a very big problem that happens to almost all DeFi protocols. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean right now. So this is a protocol that opened recently, DinoSwap on Polygon. And I'm sure you've seen these graphs. The token gets a pump, okay, in the first couple of days, first week of launch, and then it dumps to next to nothing soon after. So it's very annoying because basically what's happening is that the protocol provides valuable tokens at the beginning, okay, and the value is just sucked out through incentives, okay, in the very first few weeks, okay, and that's why you typically see $1,000,000% or 10,000%, APY or APR the first few days, and then after a week it's down to 5% or something like that. Okay, that's because most of the value was sucked out of the protocol, okay, due to the incentives, because people, the protocols wanted to attract people, and to incentivize people to deposit their USDT, Ether, or whatever, they would give super high rates and issue zillions of their own tokens, okay? So there were like tons of Dino tokens issued at the beginning, okay? And as we can see here, there was like a huge volume, okay, because that was when the protocol was valuable, and then all the value got sucked out. The price of the token dropped 92.2%, and it's just a few pennies now, okay. It went from $4 to 28 cents, okay. And this happens very, very often. I'm going to show you my champion, Iron Finance, the relaunch. Okay, I did a couple videos about this already. This one is even more dramatic. I mean, it didn't last more than 2-3 days. Okay, all the value got sucked out. The whales just ate them up, okay, in a matter of a couple of days. Okay, the token went from 28.70 to a cent today, okay, and there's no sign that it's going to get any better anytime soon because of the way the protocol is designed, okay. They had super high yields at the beginning. It attracted a lot of investment. At some point they had almost $2 billion. Now it's down to, I don't know, 20 million, something really small. And all the value got sucked out. They were bled to death, okay. And even more recently on the Solana network, we're seeing something pretty similar, maybe not as dramatic, but still pretty bad. I'm thinking. So we have the Sunny aggregator. I did a video about those guys also. They're down 81.6% right now. Okay, it went super high, but you know, you can see the pump and dump again. So this chart is unfortunately extremely common in DeFi, no matter what network you're on. It could be on Ethereum, Polygon, Binance, Avalanche, whatever. You're going to see this. Okay, so what I think is happening with Olympus Pro is that, well, the OlympusDAO experiment seemed to have been successful. The way the protocol, the OlympusDAO protocol is designed is that it keeps value inside the protocol treasury. And it gives extraordinarily high yields to the users that stake their tokens in the protocol, which is really fantastic. Okay, I mean, currently there are over 7,000 APY. Okay, I also made a video about Wonderland, which is a clone of OlympusDAO, and currently it's over 30,000%. Okay, of course the protocol is very young, it's only a month old, so it remains to be seen if they're going to be as successful as OlympusDAO, but they copy the same model. And Daniele seems to be a pretty smart guy, so there's a good chance it's going to succeed as well. Okay, OlympusDAO has over $1 billion worth of TVL at the moment. Okay, and the market cap of their tokens is over a couple. It's almost 1.5 billion, something like that. Let me check. Where are we at with Olympus token? So token is higher than it was when I did the last video, and we can see the market cap right now is $1.7 billion. That's very successful. Okay, now we can see a few more days ahead. So the last few months we can see that the market cap is going up quite a bit. Okay, and the price fluctuates a lot, but recently it's on an upward trend. Okay, if you look at the whole year, it does look like a pump and dump, but the volume was very low. Okay, there was almost no volume. Okay, and it was a brand new protocol. People did not understand the new concept of the bonding and the minting and all that jazz, and they didn't understand that the treasury was holding reserves, because at that time the treasury was super small. It's much bigger now. Okay, and even around here people didn't quite understand what was going on. I think I was reading the comments in Discord. It's like, oh my God, the price went down. I borrowed, I mortgaged my house to buy this thing, and I'm like, oh my God. Okay, so but lately, since August, it looks much healthier. We'll see how it goes in the future, but right now I think they're on the right path. Okay, I think the protocol is sound. That's just my own personal opinion. So what's interesting now is that once they managed to battle test their system to fix the whatever they needed to fix, they figured out that their protocol was very solid, and they could use their recipe to help other protocols, and that's how they came about the Olympus Pro system. So right now they managed to get 5 other protocols, okay, have lined up to use their bonding system. Okay, so the bonding right now gives people a chance to get the tokens from these protocols at a discount. That's the ROI here. Okay, currently if you want to buy Pendle tokens, you can get them at 7.7 7.7% discount. You can get the spell tokens from Abracadabra, which I did a video about, and you can get it at 3.56% discount as well. The Alchemix was at 4% discount, now it's at 195%. The percentages will go up and down. Sometimes you'll get in the negative range like this if they're oversold. Okay, if the demand is too high, they can't give a discount at that point. But this one was in the red also earlier today, and it changed now. So these rates fluctuate wildly every day. Sometimes you can get 10, 12, 15% discount. Sometimes you get like minus 10. Okay, so whatever. What's interesting is that quite a few people bought the bonds. So that's the total bonded value. Okay, and it seems to be relatively successful. Okay, we're not seeing millions of dollars yet. This is brand new. It just opened a couple days ago. Okay, but now what's interesting for all these protocols is that now they can grow their treasury the same way OlympusDAO is doing and Wonderland is doing right now, because they keep a lot of value in their protocol when they issue bonds. Okay, it's not value that is going to be sucked out of the protocol through incentives given to the token that are staked, okay, in the protocol. And that's what's revolutionary about Olympus PRO. Now they do explain in detail how it works, okay, and we're going to have a quick look at this. I'm not going to read everything, but we need to understand what they're solving here, which is liquidity problems. There's several liquidity problems that happen on regular DeFi protocols. What I'm thinking is that if the Olympus PRO model works, a lot of protocols might be interested in using this type of service, or simply copy the model and do like Wonderland, So if we have a look at this, okay, they explain that today's protocols set aside a large percentage of their token supply in order to incentivize liquidity providers. So you're a liquidity provider, you want to deposit some tokens, okay, and you want to receive an incentive, you want to receive a yield, okay. So what they're doing is that they take a large number of their tokens and they just print them and give them away, okay, to attract you and so that you deposit liquidity, okay. And unfortunately that kills the sustainability of the protocol. We've seen it with the three examples I just gave you. The value of the tokens went to nothing, okay, as opposed to Olympus DAO, which has very strong value for their token, and Wonderland as well. So there's a significant sell pressure when you when you get farm tokens, okay. I'm guilty of doing the same thing. I go on typical DeFi protocols, okay. I get yield, okay. As soon as I get my APR, okay, I sell it for Ether, USDT, whatever, SOL tokens, anything that's really valuable, okay, because the way the traditional DeFi farm is set up, the value of the farm token tends towards zero, It can start at whatever price. It doesn't matter if it's $1, $100, $1,000,000. Eventually it's going to go down to zero because they keep printing them. Okay, they keep minting and minting those tokens into oblivion. Okay, some protocols say, okay, we're going to burn a certain quantity of tokens, but it's never enough. Okay, you see it time and time and time over. That's because there's too much inflation. Just look at, I don't know, the US dollar. Look how many trillions of dollars have been printed in the last couple of years. It's ridiculous. More than half of the US dollar supply have been printed in 2 years. You think it's the value of that dollar is going to stay up just by itself? Okay. They need to twist arms a lot around the world in order to maintain any value to the US dollar. And by twisting arms, I mean really arms, you know what I mean? There's a system in place that helps the US dollar keep a certain value. But even with all that, just look at any graph of the US dollar for the last 100 years and you'll see the same pump and dump that I just showed you with DeFi protocols. It's too much inflation, okay? It's hyperinflation. So basically, they explain exactly what I just said. Mercenary liquidity providers like me often sell their rewards to recoup their investment. Okay, I do that. Everybody does that. Okay. Current solutions such as time lock staking don't solve the core issue at hand and simply prolong the liquidity attrition. Yeah, so some protocols say, okay, well, we're not going to let them sell their farm tokens immediately. They're going to have to be locked for a while, or God knows. So, but it just, prolong the agony. Okay, instead of dying in the first 2 weeks, they might die in the first 6 months. Okay, or first year, whatever the staking time is. So, and the problem is that the goal of the protocol and the liquidity providers are misaligned. They don't have the same goals on a regular, plain old traditional DeFi protocol. Okay? So the LPs, the liquidity providers, are incentivized by high reward rates rather than the belief of the success of the protocol. So once the LP rewards are exhausted, the LP will remove their capital and move on to the next opportunity. Okay? I've done that. You've done that. Everybody's done that. Okay? That's because of the way the system is designed. Okay? It's not ideal. Okay? So, according to this report from Nansen, 42% of yield farmers that enter a farm on the date launches exit within 24 hours. Around 16% leave within 48 hours, and by the third day, 70% of these users have withdrawn from the contract. That's not very good. Okay? And that's the pump and dump right there. Okay? So, on top of that, there's impermanent loss. Okay, the success of the protocol causes price appreciation in its native token if the protocol is successful. And it's causing significant impermanent loss for liquidity providers. The misalignment disincentivizes long-term liquidity providers, even if they're long-term believers in the protocol. So you might really like the protocol, but the way it's designed, you're losing money if you keep your tokens there long term. So what do? Eventually you give up. All right. So, and here also there's no buyer of last resort. If there's a market crash or there's uncertainty, there's FUD flying around everywhere like we see every 2 days when China bans Bitcoin again. Okay. You know, don't read the freaking news, okay? If you want my advice, don't read the freaking news. It's useless, okay? Bitcoin is Bitcoin is Bitcoin is Bitcoin. It's not changing because China likes Bitcoin or hates Bitcoin, or because Jerome Powell raises interest rates or lowers them or prints more money or doesn't do anything, okay? Bitcoin doesn't change, okay? So if you believe in Bitcoin, if you believe in DeFi, don't read the freaking news, okay? Read what's relevant to your protocol, obviously, okay? Check the audits, like I keep telling you on every freaking video I make. Okay, and if they don't have an audit and they look really, really good, well, don't put too much money there, okay? You have to use your own judgment, be prudent. So anyway, to get back to this, when there's a market crash and everything, the protocol needs liquidity at that time, okay? And so you have these issues where the liquidity providers remove their liquidity due to lack of confidence in the protocol, lack of confidence in the economy, they're scared of China or God knows. And the token price falls, and it creates FUD in the protocol. Oh, those gains are terrible because look at the token just fell, and okay. And less liquidity lets less users cash out, causing greater price crashes. So it just pushes the price down like a rock, and like throwing rocks in water, right? So that's the current model for most DeFi protocol, except OlympusDAO and Wonderland at the moment. Okay, so what are the benefits of the Olympus Pro for other protocols? So why is Olympus Pro superior to traditional liquidity retention approaches? The protocols now own their liquidity. Instead of relying on mercenary LPs, this ensures permanence of liquidity and provides security for the protocol and its users. Okay, so and that's what you see with OlympusDAO and Wonderland at the moment. Okay, the value of the protocol increases every single day, which means that if you're a token holder and staker, the value, the risk-free value of your token increases every single day. Doesn't matter what the price of the token is. The value inside the treasury keeps going up and up and up and up. And since it's a DAO, if you're a token holder, you own part of that treasury because you have the tokens, okay? And the owners of the DAO are the token holders. This leads to a shift in market dynamics. With Pool 2, LPs take farming rewards for granted, and because would come and go as they please, their goal is not aligned with the protocol. With bonds, users are incentivized through discounted tokens to help the protocol succeed. Okay? Because you're getting a discount. Okay? You want the protocol to get bigger and better. Okay? So that you don't want to sell the tokens that you just bonded. As more liquidity is accumulated, the pool can support larger trades and guarantee price stability and protection from massive liquidity exits. This in turn creates healthy price action, attracting long-term holders. So by having liquidity providers buying bonds instead, okay, they align themselves with the goals of the protocol, and it's good for both of them. Okay, they want the protocol to succeed as much as the protocol wants to succeed. Okay, protocol through their Olympus. Protocols can unlock new revenue streams by capturing liquidity fees, as they also become liquidity providers themselves. So they receive funds by minting through the bonding system. Okay. And that liquidity they can deposit, let's say, on SushiSwap, or they can deposit on whatever other protocol, Uniswap, and earn yield themselves. The protocols can act as liquidity providers themselves and earn yield that will generate income for the protocol. Okay, and it goes in the treasury, and assuming that the protocol is a DAO, the token holders own those revenues and the treasury as well. So the protocols, through their Olympus Pro partnership, gain extra exposure as their bonds will be featured on Olympus Pro unified marketplace for bonds. So that's the little page that we saw here. So obviously there are not so many right now. There's only like 5 protocols listed there. But assuming this experiment is successful, maybe hundreds of protocols are going to be listed here at some point. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm pretty sure that Olympus Pro gets some sort of incentive in there as well. So if you're an OMI, and you own some ohms, you probably receive extra value from this as well. So I own a few ohms, and I'm very excited about this project because probably it's going to help OlympusDAO and its token holders, and it's probably going to propagate the idea of the bonding system and the new protocol owned liquidity system, okay, which might be able to save DeFi from the pump and dump fiasco. So let's go back here. Now, protocols can gain access to experienced policy and engineering teams, so they already know how this works because, you know, they've been playing with this system all year, so that they can teach others how to use this. And perhaps they can help reshape other protocols or improve other protocols using the bonding system. So benefits of Olympus Pro for the community. So for, you know, stupid little farmers like me, want to make money out of this. So we have the opportunity to buy discounted tokens. Okay. So long-term holders do not need to speculate on price action in order to obtain more tokens. Okay, through bonds, they can supply LP tokens to the protocol of their choice in exchange for its native tokens at a discounted rate. This is a win-win scenario for both token holders and the protocol themselves. So it's kind of a guaranteed income. If you see that the Alchemix tokens are discounted at 5%, and well, you know you're getting 5%, you know, because you're getting the tokens cheaper than market price by 5%. Okay, that's very interesting. It's guaranteed earnings. Okay, you don't get that in other ways. Okay, you don't get that just by speculating on the token. If you buy the Alchemix token, okay, and you say, oh, I'm hoping that it's going to go up. Well, here the Olympus Pro system guarantees you a return. Okay, you buy it at 5% discount, 4%, whatever the discount rate is at the moment. It's guaranteed. You have no exposure to impermanent loss. Long-term holders aren't incentivized to provide liquidity as they would experience impermanent loss. Shifting this loss to the protocol better aligns both LPs and the protocol. Confidence in the liquidity availability. The community can be assured that the liquidity will permanently reside within the protocol and that there will always be ample liquidity for users to trade their tokens. So you're not stuck with tokens, okay, that you can't sell later because the protocol just died on you, okay? So Olympus, what they explain here is that they pioneered the POL, the protocol-owned liquidity system, via its bond mechanism. So within 5 months, Olympus has amassed a supermajority, 9.7% of its liquidity, of the liquidity of its 2 main trading pools, As a result, the OlympusDAO pool has become the 13th largest pool in the SushiSwap system, with a plus minus 2% slippage of $750,000 as of September 15th. So they already, after just a few months, they're already the 13th largest pool on SushiSwap, okay, and they own practically all of it, okay, and it's generating a lot of earnings for the protocol, okay. More interestingly, the accumulated liquidity also serves as a productive asset. In less than 6 months, Olympus has generated $3 million in LP fees alone. So here the protocol acts as a liquidity provider and earning like a stupid little farmer like me is trying to do, okay? So, So it's really profitable, the system that they invented at Olympus. Okay. Now they have another one with Frax and so on. And they earn $3 million in LP fees and so on here. So that's what I'm trying to explain here. We're going to see. Okay, that's their OlympusDAO. So here. We have Alchemix that explains that the bonding is now available, and we have the Abracadabra protocol as well, talking about, and that they're all very excited about this project. I think it's going to be very successful. Okay, it really protects both the token holders and the protocols. So, like for instance, if you wanted to buy a bond for Pendle, you're guaranteed a 7.7% ROI here. Okay, where else do you have a guarantee on DeFi? Okay, I don't know. If you know, let me know. But right now you get a guaranteed discount of 7.7% here. And if you prefer Spell, you get a guaranteed discount of 3.56. And you just wait a little bit, and you see these discounts go up and down, up and down, up and down all the time. If you're on the, you can also get them on the OlympusDAO protocol directly if you want to buy own bonds, and the same at Wonderland. And sometimes the discounts are huge, like over 10, 12, 15% I've seen from time to time. So it's very interesting. It's a very interesting experiment. You should check it out. Personally, I'm not. What I like to do is simply buy the OM tokens and stake them. Okay, I'm very happy with 7,000% APY. And the 30,000 plus % on Wonderland. I think that it's quite fantastic. Okay, it's hard to find a better deal, in my personal opinion. Okay, I keep saying this, but price fluctuations on OM and on the time token at Wonderland are huge. Okay, so if you cannot stomach wild fluctuation of several $100s every few hours, do not buy those tokens. Okay, if you get nervous because you bought the Wonderland time token at $3,500 and then the next hour it's $2,600, don't buy it. Okay, it's not for short-term gain. Okay, it's not. You buy if you want to invest in this. Okay, my method is I put a little bit of my portfolio in there. I don't put my whole portfolio in there. Put a little bit of my portfolio in either in both Olympus and Wonderland. That's what I did personally, and I just leave it there. From time to time I check the price because it's fun. But you know, sometimes it drops like crazy and I'm like, what's going on? You know, nothing. There's no bad news. You know, I don't know, people are crazy. They just buy and sell on emotions, and they don't understand the bonding system. They don't understand that the protocol owns the liquidity. Okay, this is very different. It's not like DinoSwap and ICE and Sunny. Okay, there's no pump and dump on these. Okay, very different. So if you buy OlympusDAO tokens or Wonderland tokens, do it for the long term. What the purpose of the video today was to explain to you a little bit more about what the bonding system does and why it's a revolution for DeFi, and why I think that the Olympus PRO service, okay, provided by OlympusDAO, has a chance of being very, very successful. Already on their first day, they've got five other protocols lined up for bonding. Okay, I hope that they have several hundred at some point. Okay, because a lot of protocols complain about this issue that we discussed earlier. Okay, that they lose all their liquidity in the first couple of weeks. Okay. So with this system, they keep their liquidity, and their liquidity keeps growing, keeps growing, keeps growing, keeps growing, because they keep on selling more bonds like this. Okay. So that's it for this video. If you like this kind of stuff, please hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell to know when I'm posting new videos. Don't forget that there's a free book available. And if you'd rather give money to Jeff Bezos, well, you can buy the book for $5.99 at Amazon. And Jeff Bezos will generously give me $1 later. Okay, that's it. See you later.